Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is day 27 of Ramadan and also episode 27 of my Ramadan Quran verses series. So without further ado, let's get started. So this verse of the Quran is from Surah Az-Zukhruf, chapter 43 of the Quran, verse 44, and it says, "And indeed the Quran is a reminder for you and your people, and you will all be questioned." This verse is a reminder that we will be held accountable for how we acted upon the Quran. Did we neglect it, or we actually held upon it and read it? And the thing is, alhamdulillah, we're all trying to gain the most out of this Ramadan. Sadly, it's ending in literally 3 days, subhanallah. And try reading the Quran more during Ramadan. But then as soon as Ramadan ends, boom, everyone just stops reading the Quran, at least some people. Just because Ramadan ended does not mean you should just neglect the Quran like that. Like, try reading at least one verse per day if it's possible, because the Quran is literally a source of life and guidance. Just as I am doing, there's so much lessons from the Quran that you can derive from. Just like I'm doing my Ramadan Quran verses series, there is so much you can learn from the Quran, literally. And I don't want to take it wrong that, so that means we should, so reading the Quran during Ramadan is bad. No, I'm not saying that. Alhamdulillah, we should read more Quran than ever during Ramadan to get those rewards. But I feel like after Ramadan, we just neglect the Quran like that. So I feel like after Ramadan, we should literally still try reading the Quran like normally, like we used to do in Ramadan. After Ramadan, we should continue reading the Quran and not just neglect it like that. And also try understanding the meaning, like literally, wallahi, once you start understanding what you're reading from the Quran and just reading it like that solid and it's just like blank, you will literally fall in love with the Quran and understand truly the lessons and things we can learn from it, just as I am teaching you guys, from my Ramadan Quran verses series. And like when the Imam is reading, maybe it could be during Taraweeh or throughout, if you're in the masjid and he's reading out loud and you don't really understand the surahs, or like if you don't understand Arabic, like you can reflect on what he's reading. Like if he says in one of the surah, for example, Inna Ghafurur Rahim, yes, that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most forgiving and merciful. Try reflecting on that so it's more beautiful. And yeah, like we're not only going to be accountable on the day of judgment for the Quran, also how we acted through our daily lives. How did we spend our time in this dunya, our salah, our zakah, just stuff like that, not only the Quran. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in my next video, and don't forget to always try reading the Quran. Assalamu alaikum, even after Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak.